Welcome to lesson 1.3 of the Partnership Lab, Clarifying Value Exchange. So the goal of this lesson is to help you clarify what you're going to offer and what you're going to ask for inside partnerships. And this is super important because partnerships often will fail when the value exchange is unclear, unbalanced, or it just can't be measured. So to help accelerate you through this process, we're going to use the Value Exchange GPT to complete a value exchange map, which will then help you understand what you're there to offer, how to communicate that, and what you can ask for as part of a partnership. Before we get into that, let's talk about the underlying and often invisible chemistry that goes on in partnerships. Let's focus on this diagram for a second. Here you see two organizations, and inside those organizations, there are certain incentives driving performance and outcomes. There are people inside those organizations that also have their own agendas and incentives that they need to be thinking about. So let's imagine that your organization is the pink one on the left-hand side. You have a bunch of team members that are driving generally in the same direction. And you will have some, sadly, that might not be pointing in the right direction. The same is true on the partner organization side. The idea is that over time, as you start to understand the intention of a partner, you can start to find that common ground. And that common ground exists inside that bond. It's what allows the partnerships to build momentum and progress and measurable results, which then allow both partners to achieve an outcome they couldn't do by themselves. So when we think about incentive chemistry, it's the act of creating a bond which results in benefits to each of the partners. The origin of each partnership bond is easily traced back to one of two incentives. The first one is personal motivations, and the second one are the business priorities that those people are there to deliver on. So let's understand that in a little bit more detail. Partnership success hinges on those two incentives and at those two different levels. The first one is around personal motivations. So what is in it for me at an individual level? Career growth, internal company influence, achieving the KPIs, bonuses, the things that really drive the behaviors. And then there are the business priorities. What does this other organization want to achieve? Is it market expansion, cost reduction, brand credibility, product development? What are those different incentives? Well, the interesting thing is that when you're trying to work out how do you understand what those incentives are, you can ask two questions to the decision makers of partnerships. Here they are. For personal motivations, the question is, how will our partnership help you in your role? Not the organization, in your role. And you can assume that it will have something to do with career growth, internal company influence, achieving results that you've been put in that role to achieve. Now, let's go to the business priorities. Here's the question. How could this partnership be a game changer for your organization? Again, it could be market expansion. It could be cost reduction, brand credibility, or product development, or it could be something completely different. By asking these two questions, and you might need to ask them a couple of times of all the different decision makers inside the organization, but as you ask these questions of your partner people, then you're going to start to formulate exactly what's in it for them, which means you can put that into your thinking for how you present a partnership opportunity to them in the future. So remember this value map that we talked about? This is still a two-way street. Here are the 6 benefits of a partnership. And of course, these are benefits that could be offered and they could be benefits that could be received. Let's dive into this in a little bit more detail. Around growth and revenue expansion, we're talking about market access. We're talking about revenue diversification or scalability of the build of your organization. Under number 2, we're talking about cost sharing, operational leverage, and risk mitigation. These are really important benefits that when you scratch on the detail of number 2, you might find. Then we go into competitive advantage. We're talking about here brand credibility and authority, unique value propositions, and the all-important network effects. And then we talk about number 4, this innovation and capability enhancement. This could be access to new technology or faster go-to-market strategies or knowledge and skill transfers that wouldn't be able to happen by yourself. Then we go into one of my favorites, customer experience and retention, enhanced offerings, higher retention and loyalty, improved service delivery. This is what can be done under the hood of your organization to create a fantastic experience for customers so that they can be acquired and also retained. And then number 6, This is where we talk about market testing and validation, adaptability to uncertain markets. It could also help you with exit strategies around your business. Remember, when people start to partner, it's not only just to take advantage of the skills that are available today. It could be that your partner would like to partner with you with a view to acquire your organization in the future. So again, we'll come back to this two-way value street, but remember, these are a combination of benefits that you could offer or the benefits that you might be looking to bring to your organization. So when we talk about value exchange, what are we talking about? Well, value exchange in the context of a partnership is a trade. Offer something valuable in return for what you need. The exchange must objectively answer one critical question. And this is one of two overarching questions in this program that I want you to put up on the wall. Get a post-it note, stick it to your monitor, make it something that you are aware of, and here it is. Would I accept this deal if I were them? And often that will require you to take a step out of your own role and role play. If you were to see the deal that was in front of you, would you accept it? Objectively, would you really? Because if the answer is no, I don't think I would, then it's time to revisit that. So, would I accept this deal if I were them? We're going to come back to that many times. So, let's think about how we map your value exchange. We're going to use the value exchange GPT for this. So, this is just about familiarizing you with this framework. We'll get to the practical aspect of this very shortly. Step one, we're going to list your core strengths that make you an attractive partner. Then we're going to identify what you need most from a partner, and then we're going to find alignment where your strengths meet their needs. Now, before we start using the GPT, let's look at some examples of where value is very clearly communicated. And this is the kind of communication that you can use in the very early stages of engaging with potential new ideal partners. Clear value statements should be specific, compelling, and most importantly, easily repeated, so that when somebody walks away from a meeting with you, they have it so clear in their mind what the potential for this partnership is. They can be in a lift well or around a water cooler or going to lunch with somebody else and say, I think we should partner with these people for this reason, and they can repeat what you told them. Let's walk through a couple of examples. We provide AI-driven customer insights that can increase your conversion rates by 25%. And your established retail footprint would allow us to scale our analytics platform to a wider audience. Let's break this down. First and foremost, if this was you saying this to me, you've established a compelling opening offer. You've already got my attention because it's already looking at my two incentives. It's helping me understand what the organizational incentive is, and you're also helping me understand what this could mean to me as a leader who might engage with you as a partner. And then you've provided me with a clear basis for partnership, which is the exchange. What do you need in return? This is a very brief statement, but straight away it's very easily repeated. You can help me with insights that increase conversion rates by 25%. And I can help you by using our retail footprint to scale your business. On face value, that seems fair. Of course, we've got to go through the detail to understand if what you're saying is true in terms of conversion rates. And of course, you'll want to know from me whether I can help you with that clear basis for partnership, which is to become part of your retail footprint. But you see how clear this is. Let's try a second one. Our sustainable packaging solutions can reduce your material costs by 15% and enhance your brand's eco-friendly reputation, while your strong market presence would help us expand into new industry segments. Here is the opening offer. It's compelling, it's specific, and it's clear. And here is the basis for partnership. You'll notice that in both of these cases, the opening offer includes a numeric value. Will increase your conversion rates by 25%, will reduce your material costs by 15%. Those two statements allow me to understand that you're serious about what the offer is. Let's try a third. We bring advanced cybersecurity solutions that can cut your data breach risk by 40%. And your enterprise client base would enable us to showcase our technology's effectiveness at scale. Again, clear opening offer and a clear basis for partnership. You'll note that the numbers here, 25, 15, and 40, help to suggest that there is an incentive that we would like you to take advantage of, both organizationally and personally, and that there is an exchange that we're looking forward to as well. That is the essence of clear partnership communication in trying to express your value. Now, let's look at the other end of the scale. And this is where vague communication of value happens. We have an innovative product that could really change the market, and partnering with you could help us both succeed. So, what is the product? How does it change the market? And what does success mean? Here's another one. We bring expertise in digital marketing, and we think working together could create exciting opportunities. Well, that might be true, but what kind of digital marketing and what specific opportunities? Let's try a third. We could help improve your operations while expanding our reach through your network. Improve operations how? What kind of expansion? Now, when compared to what we saw in the clear communications, there is not a clear basis for partnership in these offers. There's certainly not a compelling opening offer. And so as we start to build out those clear points of value, we want to avoid vagueness, which is what you're seeing right here. So the key takeaways in lesson 1.3, partnerships thrive on clear, balanced value exchange. Be specific. Remember that vague value statements lose attention. And key question number 1, always ask, would I accept this deal if I were them? Super important question to always be asking you and your team. All right, straight into the blueprint action steps. Use the Value Exchange GPT to complete your value exchange map, which will help you understand what you're there to offer and what you need. Make sure you test that with your team so that you can refine that and get real clarity. After that, we'll move into lesson 4, where we start to identify ideal partners using the ideal framework to prioritize your new and upcoming partnerships. Once you'll finish this lesson, hit complete, and I'll see you in the next one.